Western media is flooded with stories of China's recent COVID outbreaks, and it's got them asking, again, will China continue to stick to its zero COVID policy? And is the introduction of home test kits a sign that people who are positive will no longer have to quarantine in central facilities? Today I'll answer all these questions and more. Let's get reporting. Hey you guys, welcome back to Reports on China. I'm Andy. Now I'm going to hold my iPad today. I've got a lot of details to get through. So China is facing its worst COVID situation since the massive outbreak in Wuhan in 2020. Now just yesterday there were 1,860 new cases nationwide. The majority were in Jilin province, around about 1,456. Now if you saw my last video, you'll know that I was in Jilin recently, which means I need to quarantine here at home for 2 weeks. Well, until this weekend. Now keep in mind that despite China's recent outbreak, the numbers here are still much lower than other places around the world, obviously. Now Germany, for example, has around about 200,000 cases a day. The USA, around 50,000, and even my home country, New Zealand, with a population of just 5 million, is seeing cases of around 20,000 per day. But of course, that hasn't stopped wall-to-wall coverage of China's recent outbreak. CNN said, in China, 37 million people are in COVID lockdown, where they ask, will China stick to COVID zero? The New York Times argues, after 2 years of largely containing coronavirus outbreaks, China's zero COVID policies are being tested by the highly transmissible variant. Now yesterday, China released an updated policy actually laying out some new changes dealing with COVID in light of the spread of Omicron. But before we look at the details, let's quickly take a look at a poll I held on my YouTube page this morning. I asked my viewers if they think China will relax its zero COVID policy in light of this new outbreak. Now at the time of filming, 600 people have voted so far within about 2 hours. 59%, actually quite a lot of you, said no. About a quarter said yes, that's still quite high. And about 17% were unsure. Now I see a comment here from Hattie Wu who said, China's zero COVID policy has already been adjusted to adapt to Omicron. It's a dynamic zero COVID strategy which is more resilient and flexible than the old version. Hope it works this time as well. Now Hattie is completely right. So yesterday China released its new diagnosis and treatment protocol for COVID-19 patients. It's actually the 9th edition. So here are some short answers to some of the recent questions. Now, will China relax its zero COVID policy? Of course not, but there have been some significant changes within this policy that are worth mentioning here. Firstly, a big one that I'll answer, does the fact that China approved the sale of home antigen COVID tests in the past few days mean that people who find they're COVID positive can quarantine at home? The short answer is no. Now, anyone who finds that they're positive, according to this new update, using a home testing kit needs to undergo a nucleic acid test ASAP and arrange to be transported to a hospital in a closed-loop system. Now, that means you shouldn't try to go to the hospital yourself, and you definitely should not take public transport. Another big change, which has come about specifically because of the Omicron variant and the fact that a large number of cases are showing absolutely zero symptoms, is that those asymptomatic cases will no longer need to stay in a central medical facility. This is because, as we all know, the vast majority of Omicron cases, especially those who are vaccinated, show absolutely no symptoms and therefore require no medical treatment. They cannot quarantine at home, however, and will be sent to a central quarantine facility until they're clear. Now, of course, this will free up medical facilities for those who are more in need. And of course, anyone who's displaying symptoms will still need to quarantine in a medical facility. Now, another major change announced yesterday is that COVID cases, after becoming fully healthy, will no longer be required to undergo a further 2 weeks of home quarantine once they're discharged. That time's been cut in half to just 7 days. So yeah, I hope this clears up some of your questions about China's COVID policies. But yeah, China obviously remains firmly committed to the zero COVID policy, and I seriously doubt that will change anytime soon. Now on to some less serious topics. The response to my Reports on China merchandise was really positive, so I'm really glad you guys liked it. Now, as promised in the last video, I said I would let you guys know how you can win some of that stuff yourself. Well, I still don't have a very exciting idea, so for the time being, what I'll do is, under this video, I will choose the best comment, and that person will win my Reports on China merchandise. Now, if you're living in China, That will include everything that I showed in the other video. But if you're living overseas, unfortunately, I can't yet send the Reports on China mug until I come to an agreement with a shipping company. Otherwise, the price is a bit too high. So really sorry about that. 而且如果你在中国的平台上看这个视频的话，比如说哔哩哔哩、头条、快手、抖音，你也可以参加。我会选评论区里面最好的一个评论，然后发给你我所有的外媒看中国的周边。加油！ Oh, also a lot of you guys asked to see more of my cats in this video, so here you go. So my two cats are called Yaya and Bai Sujin. So this is Yaya. Now I found her actually on the streets outside my apartment about 2 years ago. In a terrible state, so I took her in obviously, and you can see now she is right at home. And this is Bai Sujin. She's also a rescue, but she was found at a really young age, so she thankfully has no memories of living it tough on the streets. Anyway, that is all I have time for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do let me know what you think down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.